Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rarit Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. Today in this video I'm going to talk about Sun's upcoming transit in the sign of Scorpio. Sun is finally moving out of its debilitation sign of Libra and is going to enter the sign of Scorpio. This is the annual transit of Sun, and Sun is going to enter the sign of Scorpio on 16th of November and it will stay there till 15th of December. During this transit, Sun is going to be aspected by Jupiter and also Saturn. Sun will have a mutual aspect with Jupiter and will be aspected by the 10th aspect of Saturn. And for all ascendant signs, I'm going to talk about how this transit is going to have an impact on you, what is that you can expect, what are certain remedies, and how these aspects, connections of Jupiter and Saturn with Sun are going to have an impact for the next 1 month. But before that, I have started an initiative in my video that the first few minutes I'm going to share with you some very important tips, golden remedies or pearls of Jyotish, some deep secrets. Today it's about Sun. Sun is called Sri Surya. So Surya Bhagavan, it is about him, and let me share with you some astrological tips pertaining to Sun. Sun is the Graha, primarily being the luminary that rules the sign of Leo, and interestingly this is the sign which is Sun's home and also the Mool Trikon sign. So Sun has the ownership as its own house, and this is also the Mool Trikon sign of Sun. Now own sign is considered as home space. Mool Trikon sign is to be considered as the office space. Sun is the only Graha who has the same home and office. Therefore, it gives a very important message and a tip, particularly with those people who have a prominent Sun. So if you have Sun in your ascendant, if you have Sun in your 4th house, so if it is in the 1st house, in the 4th house, if you have Sun in the 5th house, if you have Sun in the 9th house, and if you have Sun in the 10th house, or if you have Sun in the sign of Aries, if it's an exalted Sun, or Sun in the sign of Leo, if it's Swakshatra or it's Mool Trikon sign. Such people should take this advice very seriously. Regardless of the fact that you go out and work, you must have an office set up at home. Regardless of the fact that you go to the office, you have a day job, you have a traveling job or something or the other, but you must at some point in time in your life establish or set up an office space at your home. This is how you will be able to channelize Surya or Sun appropriately in your chart, of course in your life as well. This is how you will be able to attract resources and of course new opportunities, because Sun denotes beginnings. It is the significator of resources. It will also bring in some sort of consistency in your life and it will elevate it. And for having a leadership potential and leadership growth, this is a fantastic remedy that works wonder. This is the key message that Sun is giving you. It is my first tip to you. Now the second astrological tip that I have for you with regards to Sun. Now Sun's Drekana, Sun in Drekana. Drekana means 1/3 of the Rashi. So each Rashi has 3 Drekanas. Each Rashi or sign is about 30 degrees, which is split into 3 parts: 0 to 10 degrees, 10 to 20 degrees and 20 to 30 degrees. Therefore we arrive with 3 Drekanas. Now Sun has a very close connection with Lord Shiva. So this tip applies to those people who have Sun between 0 to 10 degrees. So if you have Sun between 0 to 10 degrees, this is when Lord Shiva is meditating. He is in deep sadhana. This is what it signifies as far as your chart is concerned. And in this case, you must reach out to either Ganesha or Lord Kartikeya. Lord Ganesha or Lord Kartikeya, who are the sons of Lord Shiva. So you must reach out to them as far as any remedial measures are concerned. This way Lord Shiva will be able to listen to you, because when Sun is 0 to 10 degrees, Lord Shiva is in deep meditation. The third astrological tip that I would like to give you is never ever in your life lie with regards to the house placement that Sun is in your chart. This is something you must avoid, otherwise you could face severe consequences as far as Sun is concerned, because Sun demands loyalty, Sun demands the truth. Sun or Surya is the ultimate truth. You must remember, it is a Sattva Graha, it is a pure Graha, but at the same time it is a Krura Graha. So if you lie matters with regards to the house that Sun is placed in your chart, you are going to be punished and it could be extremely challenging for you. So for example, if you have Sun in the 1st house, never lie to yourself, because first house represent yourself. Be 100% truthful to yourself. If Sun is in your second house, never lie to your family, because second house is your Kutumba Bhava and it is represented by the family. If Sun is in your third house, never lie to your siblings or to your co-borns in case you have it. And in general, in your communication, you need to be truthful. If Sun is in your fourth house, never lie to your mother, and also to some people that you're closely connected in your homeland. If Sun is in your fifth house, never ever lie to your children. This is the ultimate message that Sun is giving you. If Sun is in your sixth house, never lie to your enemies. Be very truthful to your enemies itself. You'll be able to overcome your enemies. If Sun is in your seventh house, never lie to your spouse or your partner. If Sun is in your eighth house, never lie to strangers, and at the same time never lie to people if you're connected to those people who are from far off places. If Sun is in your ninth house, never lie to your father or to your guru or a father figure. If Sun is in your 10th house, never lie to people who you work with or who you have a professional acquaintance with, your colleagues, your peers, your managers and your subordinates. If Sun is in your 11th house, never ever lie to your friends. This way you'll be able to channelize the Sun in an appropriate manner. If Sun is in the 12th house, never ever lie to your doctor, those who treat you, and at the same time those people who are from far off places or foreign lands that you are connected to. So these are 3 simple tips. I hope you like these tips about Sun that could be useful for you. Now another very important 2 aspects of this transit is, interestingly, throughout the time Sun and Jupiter will be in mutual aspect. Whenever Sun and Jupiter come in mutual aspect, or if Jupiter is aspecting Sun, it forms a royal lineage. It is a royal yoga. There are favors from Guru, there are favors from people with higher wisdom, because this expands the qualities of Sun. So resources would be pretty much favorable, because I have mentioned this in my previous video. Jupiter is going retrograde in the sign of Taurus, and it will have a greater focus 7th from its position, because this will be Jupiter as if it's in the sign of Scorpio, and this is where it is in a mutual aspect with Sun. Resources are going to be favorable. It is an excellent time to increase your wisdom, to learn something new, and at the same time to explore and discover your true leadership potential. For those people who want to elevate themselves, become successful, reach a certain status or leadership role, this could be an excellent time. Saturn will have its 10th aspect on Sun, and Saturn will very soon go retrograde. This is where Saturn will have a very powerful 10th aspect on Sun in the sign of Scorpio. This aspect represents growth, growth related to workplace, growth related to your actions, your karmas. So whenever Saturn and Sun come in contact, this really leads to activation. So one hand you have wisdom of Jupiter, and the other hand you have the power of labor of Saturn. And I have mentioned a very detailed analysis about Saturn's direct movement in Aquarius as well, which is going to last for about 4.5 months. This connection is forming a beautiful yoga, because these are the natural 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th house lords, and Sun is the natural 5th house lord. So it is coming in powerfully in contact with the natural 9th house lord and the natural 10th house lord, forming a very beautiful yoga. So you could expect things and matters pertaining to Scorpio, the sign of Scorpio, wherever it falls in your chart, being highly active at this time, and the lordship of Saturn and Jupiter. This is how you would read this transit. So in case you're running through Sun's Antardasha Pratantardasha, or you're running through Antardasha Pratantardasha of Mars, Mangal, Saturn, Jupiter, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. Now let's talk about how Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this transit from your ascendant sign. At the mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Let us start with Aries ascendants. For you, Sun is your 5th lord. It is a Yoga Karaka planet, because for you it rules the future, positional success, your children. And 5th lord plays a very important role as far as the future pursuits are concerned. This is the Purva Punya Bhava, and the Lord is one of the most powerful and the influential planets in the chart. If 5th lord is well placed, you could have a very successful future, and you're not reliant on other people as far as your future is concerned, because you try to take things in your hands. This Sun is making its annual transit in your 8th house of longevity. sudden ups and downs, sudden changes, occult. We also see a lot of mysteries and hidden places and secrets from this house. This house represents secret. Scorpio is a watery sign. It is deep dark water. Sun is a fiery planet. Your fifth lord is making a transit in the 8th house. So it is fourth from its position. That is how it's an auspicious transit. Sun does not have any kind of dosha as far as 8th house is concerned. But this sun represents knowledge in your case, and your lord of knowledge, basic knowledge, has entered the 8th house, and this is when it will make you very much interested towards occult, towards Jyotish. So this month could be excellent for you to study Jyotish, study astrology, and increase your knowledge in this subject. Other people, if they come to take advice, you will give very good advice to people, so you could attract a lot of other people, because this sun is being aspected by your 9th lord Jupiter and your 11th lord Saturn. Okay, so this is an interesting combination, because there is a lot of dharma that is coming in with this sun, and there is also ability to have certain gains as far as your future is concerned. So they are forming a very nice yoga, but this yoga is happening in the 8th house, so you have to be mindful of the fact that there could be a sudden event, there could be a sudden change or transformation in your life, and this is something which you should be prepared with. You could also travel overseas during this time. If you were to settle abroad, if you were to obtain a permanent residency, things could be in your favor as far as paperwork is concerned. This sun is aspecting your 7th house, 2nd house by the 7th aspect. So your 2nd house is being aspected by sun by its 7th aspect of desire. Whenever sun makes an aspect, which is the 7th aspect, it blinds that house. But here it is trying to give you a message that desire is to work towards your family, because Saturn is also going to go direct very soon. So your resources should be used towards the welfare of your family. You have to be very careful of your speech, what you say, how you say, and take control of your ego. Try to channelize it appropriately to build meaningful connections, to build meaningful associations. You must use mantras related to Surya. A simple mantra such as Om Suryaya Namah could be excellent for you. Do Surya Namaskar. You can also chant Aditya Hridayam. You can also chant Aditya Hridayam during this time. You will be highly benefited. May Surya Devta bless you, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Taurus ascendants. For you, Sun is your 4th lord, the lord of satisfaction, your mother, your comfort space, your safe space, your homeland, or your home. This is what 4th house or its lord represents. And this sun is making a transit in the 7th house of marriage, relationship, partnership, harmony, and of course all those people who are opposite to you. Your 4th lord making a transit in the 7th house is definitely forming a yoga in transit, because it's a Kendra lord making a transit in another powerful Kendra house. However, sun goes weak when it is in the 7th house, because this is the western direction where sun sets, and sun likes to rise in the east, because this gives a lot of energy to sun. So the energy levels are going down as far as 7th house is concerned. So you will have to put in significant amount of efforts as far as resources pertaining to your business and resources pertaining to your relationship are concerned. In the beginning of the video, I have shared some tips with you. Be very loyal to your partner. This is kind of a loyalty test for you. Be honest with your partner and take into account their suggestions and recommendations. So this could be your spouse. This could also be your business partner during this time. You have some karmas pertaining to relationship that you're going to face for the next 1 month, because Jupiter and Saturn are also mutually aspecting this sign, this house, which will be pretty much active by the dual transit and also by the virtue of transit of Sun. Sun wants you to get out of your comfort zone, step out of your comfort zone, and of course face those people who are opposite to you. Use your leadership potential, because see, this Sun is aspecting your ascendant by the 7th aspect of desire. So one thing is for sure, that you will have certain amount of ego that will be developed. You'll also have firepower, but then you could also have certain ego. So practice humility, keep that ego aside, respect other people. You could have some favors from seniors or those with authority. So make sure that you make the most of it, because they could be at your side during this time. Mother's health could also be of concern during this time. So make sure that you reach out to her, and of course you stay connected with your mother. The Sun is being aspected by your 8th lord and your 10th lord. Transformation is inevitable. You would need to step out of your comfort zone And this transformation is very much related to your workplace. You could get a new project or a new assignment, which could be difficult initially, which could be bigger. So this is for your learning opportunity. So take that as a learning opportunity and immerse yourself in this new assignment or new venture. This could be quite favorable for you. What you must do is you must chant mantras either related to Shukra, and you must chant mantras related to Mercury, which is your 5th lord during this time. And may Lord Surya bless you and you have a good transit. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about Gemini Ascendants and what's happening with Gemini Ascendants as far as Sun's annual transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned. For you, Sun is the 3rd lord. It is more of a neutral planet, but it shares a friendly relationship with your Lagna lord Mercury. It is friendly towards Mercury. This is your 3rd lord of valor, courage, younger siblings. So there is definitely some karma associated to co-bonds during this time. Some karmas associated to your communication, how you use your hands, your right hand, and of course change. This month is the month of change, which is inevitable, and that is something which you're attracting because Sun for you represents change. And this Sun is making a transit in the 6th house of daily routine. So the Lord of change is coming in your daily routine. So it's going to bring in changes. Be prepared for it. And of course, at the mental level, also at the physical level. 6th house also represents enemies, your competition, deaths and diseases. So you could face some oppositions, but you're able to overcome this opposition because the Sun is your 3rd lord. It will give you a lot of valor and courage as far as dealing with opposition is concerned. Sun is a natural malefic and does very well in the 6th house because this is the house of growth. It is one of the Upachaya Bhavas. And this is also a kind of Neecha Bhanga Yoga, 3rd lord in the 6th lord. Situation could go adverse. Eventually you will rise. This Sun is aspecting your 12th house by its 7th aspect of desire. You must give donations during this time. Donate wheat, donate grains to those who need. This could be an ultimate potential remedy for you. You also need a lot of decluttering in your life, decluttering of thoughts, decluttering of physical things, and of course detoxification of your body. What you consume, what you eat would be quite essential for you. Otherwise you could have digestive issues, so take care of that. This Sun is aspected by your 10th lord and your 9th lord. Okay, Jupiter and Saturn are aspecting, so work related change is quite inevitable. You also need to protect your religion, your dharma. Be the protector of your dharma, be the messenger of your dharma, and of course spread awareness. Try to influence as many people as you can with regards to what you believe is right. Have the path of righteousness in as far as every day in your life is concerned. This is the message which Sun is giving you, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Cancer Ascendants. For Cancer Ascendants, Sun is the 2nd lord of your kutumba, your family, your income, wealth, what you consume, what you eat. It is your storage space, your resources that you share with others. And this Sun is making a transit in the 5th house of future, your positional success. Scorpio is a friendly sign for Sun. It is your 2nd lord making a transit in the 5th house of children. It is forming a yoga which is a Lakshmi yoga or a Dhan yoga in transit. So in case you're expecting an increment, rise in your income, or having a secondary source of income, this could be quite a favorable time in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive, because this Sun is being aspected by your 9th lord and your 7th lord, by both Saturn and Jupiter during this time, which of course could bring in new business opportunities, and at the same time fortune could be favorable because Jupiter and Sun form a royal lineage during this time and they are in mutual aspect. So of course resources are favorable. Anything that you learn, you could be recognized by the virtue of your learning and upskilling. See, Sun does well in the 5th house because it's natural Mool Trikon sign and the own sign of Sun, and this Sun is aspecting your 11th house by its 7th aspect of desire. So it is giving you favorable resources as far as connecting with your friends is concerned. As far as having certain gains are concerned, you must use mantras during this time. Either this mantra could be related to Mars, Lord Narsimha. This could also be related to Hanuman. Chant Hanuman Chalisa, read it every day. This mantra can also be related to Suryadev himself. Read Aditya Hridayam, chant mantras related to Surya or Lord Ram you will be blessed by this transit, and as far as financial growth and prosperity is concerned, I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Leo Ascendants. What's happening with Leo Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned? For you, Sun is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. Therefore, it plays a very important role in your life. It is the significator of your soul. Everything that you do, your body, your vitality, your immunity, your knowledge, your intelligence, we see brain from this house, and of course your buddhi, your mind, how strong it is, and of course from a body perspective, how strong is your physique, your physical body, and your vitality. This Sun is making a transit in your 4th house of happiness, your comfort space, your mother, your home or your homeland. 4th house is a tricky position for Sun, because see, Sun gains directional strength in the 10th house. 4th house is opposite to it, where Sun is losing direction. Thankfully, it is in the friendly sign of Scorpio during this time. It's your Lagna Lord in the 4th house, forming a yoga in transit. However, you could struggle with resources. So one thing is sure, you have to step out of your comfort zone for the next 1 to 2 months, because your Lagna Lord in the 4th house, where it loses direction, it is being aspected by your 5th Lord and your 7th Lord. It has the aspect of Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter is a Karaka Graha for you. It could bring in some future planning, some future opportunities, but you will have to step out of your comfort zone. You also have some relationship karma during this time, because your 7th Lord is aspecting this Sun by its 10th aspect. So the message for you is, you need to bring in loyalty in your relationship. You need to grow your relationship, not in terms of having increasing the number of relationships, but your current relationships, you need to grow and foster it to, of course, ensure that it becomes long lasting for you, because your spouse or your partner is going to play a very important role over the next couple of months. This Sun is aspecting your 10th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun desires you to channelize your resources at the workplace. Make sure that you have an optimum utilization of resources that you have at your workplace. You could have some favors from your colleagues or those people who you work with, so they can play a very important role. They could go out of the way, particularly if they are subordinates. So make sure that you reach out to them, make sure that you stay connected to them during this time, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Virgo Ascendants, and what's happening with Virgo Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned, which will last for about 1 month, mid-November till mid of December. For you, Sun is your 12th Lord. It's more of a neutral planet, because Sun does not have any dosha of any of the houses, be it 6, 8 or 12 houses. Now, Sun is the Lord of your higher self-consciousness, your expenditure, your losses, your ability to give, your ability to donate, your self-awareness, self-actualization. This house has unlimited potential, because it's 12th from your ascendant. So the more you give, the more you gain. This is the key message as far as 12th house is concerned. And this Sun is making a transit in your 3rd house of valor, your courage, growth, change. This is an Upachaya Bhava, and Sun does very well in the 3rd house. But this is also a Viparita Yoga in transit. Situation could go adverse for you, but eventually you will rise. So this Sun is giving you a message that firstly you need to build your valor. How you will build your valor? You need to increase your self-awareness. You will increase your self-awareness by writing, by penning down your goals, because this house represents your right hand or your hands. And of course, journaling could be excellent for you. And if this journaling is towards gratitude or towards your own self-awareness, this could be quite excellent for you, because the kind of goals that you will set, you will be able to achieve those goals. You will be able to overcome your enemies or your competition. You will bring a sense of leadership in your communication. Lead your communication. Create an impact on other people. This is the kind of opportunity which you have during this transit, because resources will be favorable as far as efforts are concerned. So if you take efforts, so Sun represents losses for you or expenditure. You will have to take more efforts, you will have to put in more efforts for sure, but you will see results as far as this particular transit is concerned, especially for yourself. Spiritually, it's a great transit. Have some spiritual practices that you can develop during this time, sadhana, meditation, yoga kriya. So do that. Also, you could learn Ayurveda during this time. This could be quite beneficial for you. See, this Sun is aspected by your fourth lord and your fifth lord during this time. So there is of course a sense of comfort that it wants to bring in your daily life, and at the same time focus on your fundamental knowledge. You need to get your basics right during this time. This is the key message for you. If you get your basics right, you will be able to grow and prosper. Use mantras pertaining to your Lagna Lord Mercury during this time. This could be highly beneficial for you, or worship Lord Vishnu. Use the mantra Om Vishnave Namah. You could be highly benefited during this time, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra Ascendants. What's happening with Libra Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned, which is happening in your second house of Kutumba, wealth, your speech, what you consume, what you eat. Sun is your 11th Lord. 11th Lord of your wider social network, your gains, your material life, your material comfort. We also see bigger enemies from the 11th house because this is 6th from the 6th house. We also see obstacles from the 11th house, particularly for Libra Ascendants, because Sun becomes your Bhadakesh as well. Now this Sun making a transit in the second house, 11th Lord of gains making a transit in the second house of wealth. So naturally it's a powerful Dhan Yoga in transit, right? However, 11th Lord does bring in some obstacles, but Sun somehow does not have that dosha. So one thing that you have to be careful of during this time is your speech, what you say, how you say, because this Sun is under the influence of Jupiter and also Saturn. So one is your 6th Lord and the other is your 4th Lord. Okay, so it could bring in some sort of arrogance in your speech as well, some sort of enmity in your speech, some sort of aggressiveness. And you could also sound cold to other people. So this is something which you have to be mindful of. Instead of sounding cold, sound mature, bring in a sense of wisdom in your speech. Try to listen to others and then put your point across. This will be highly benefited for you, and at the same time you will use your leadership potential to the best of your abilities, and you will be able to lead others. You will be able to lead conversations this way if you listen to others. This is a golden tip that I'd like to give you during this time. This Sun is going to be aspecting your 8th house, so it desires you to change, use your resources for transformation. Be prepared for any sudden events during this time which could be pertaining towards your family, towards your finances. So you need a lot of financial management during this time. This is the key message because Sun plays a very important role as far as gains are concerned in your life, and of course this time calls for financial management. Your second house is super active. And the other thing that you could do is spend a lot of time with your family. Do something for your family. Okay, this will help you channelize your Sun appropriately. Use mantras related to Saturn or use mantras related to Venus, your Lagna Lord during this time. Try to channelize because your Lagna Lord making a transit in your 3rd house, and if you use a simple mantra Om Lakshmi Namah, you worship Goddess Lakshmi, you could be benefited by this transit. Otherwise, it could be a bit challenging for you, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Scorpio Ascendants. What's happening with Scorpio Ascendants here? Scorpio, your Sun, which is your 10th Lord, Lord of Karma, your profession, your actions in the society, what you do in order to sustain in this world, in order to survive in this world, and of course, it is all about your work. And this Sun is making a transit in your 1st house, in your ascendant. Please welcome Surya Devata in your ascendant, forming a Simhasana Yoga during this transit. Please worship Lord Shiva for the next 1 month to seek maximum blessings as far as this transit is concerned. In case you have a Surya, natal Sun between 0 to 10 degrees, then you worship Lord Ganesha or Lord Kartikeya, because this is when Lord Shiva will be in deep meditation. I have mentioned this in the beginning of my video. You can watch to learn more about it. So this Sun is the significator of the 1st house, natural Karaka for the soul, and it's the eastern direction. So Sun feels very comfortable as far as this house is concerned. This is the kind of opportunity that you get annually. And the big shift, the big change is, firstly, your ascendant is pretty active. You can expect change, you can expect transformation, and by the virtue of aspect of both Saturn as well as Jupiter, okay, your 3rd Lord and your 5th Lord, right? So this is something which you have to be mindful of during this time. Change is inevitable, growth is promised, and financial gains are also promised during this time in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive, because your 5th Lord is involved. And when 5th Lord is involved, aspecting your 10th Lord, They're forming a beautiful royal yoga. I could expect you could have some promotion, some sort of growth, recognition as far as your workplace is concerned. So make sure that you're making the most of this time as far as the energies are concerned, which is quite favorable for you. So this could really be a breakthrough transit. Any important decisions that you want to take, you can take during this time. Sun is aspecting your 7th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun desires loyalty in relationship, loyalty in your partnership. Be very loyal to your partner. Your partner or spouse could play a very important role. So any suggestions that you get from them, make sure that you consider. At least I'm not asking you to implement or of course expect blindly, but consider those suggestions. It could be of value to you, right? So make sure you utilize these energies, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Sagittarius ascendants and what's happening with Sagittarius ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned. And this transit is happening in your 12th house. Interesting transit because Sun is a Karaka Graha for you. It's your 9th lord, it's your Bhagyesha, your lord of fortune, lord of dharma, and your higher learning father or father figure. Your guru is seen from the 9th house. Long distance journeys are seen from this house. Your spiritual growth is also seen from this house. 9th lord is your Bhagyesha. It plays a very important role in bringing fortune in our life, and of course our connections from the previous birth. This Sun being in the 12th house during this transit, which is the house of your higher self-consciousness, your expenditure, your overall self-awareness. How well do you know yourself? Your losses, hospital visits, also your bed comforts. Sun attains Maran Karaka position in the 12th house, which is a death-like position where it is losing its significance. But Sun is 9th lord for you. So this is a bit of an exceptional transit. I could expect extreme results, extremely good or extremely bad. So be prepared for both aspects, which will be dependent on your ongoing Dasha Antadasha. Be mindful of other people. Also go for a regular checkup because this could bring in some health issues that could be concerning for you. This Sun is being aspected by your Lagna lord Jupiter and by your 2nd lord Saturn during this time. So make sure that you get yourself checked up and you take care of your overall well-being during this time. In case you were to settle abroad or move outside or go for a long distance travel, or you've been looking forward to moving houses, this could be a potentially favorable time. Else go on a spiritual journey during this time. Spiritually, it's an excellent transit because you will build your capability as far as spiritual pursuits are concerned, because resources are favorable, and be the protector of your dharma. Do not deviate from your dharmic path during this time, because if you stick to it, fortune will favor you. And if you live outside of your homeland, this could be still a better transit or a more favorable transit for you. You could expect some positive change during this time. This Sun is aspecting your 6th house by its 7th aspect of desire. Sun desires decluttering in your daily life. Sun desires you to overcome competition by the virtue of your efforts. The more efforts you put, and of course follow the path of righteousness as far as your daily life is concerned. Be honest to yourself and of course towards others as well. You should be able to surpass your competition during this time. You would need more efforts because resources are challenging. Start of new work could be challenging. In case you're starting something new, you could struggle a bit initially. Look up to your Lagna lord Jupiter. Use mantras related to Jupiter during this time to channelize these energies, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Capricorn ascendants and what's happening with Capricorn ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned, which is happening in your 11th house. 11th house transit of Sun is excellent. It is good regardless of its lordship in the chart. For you, Sun is your 8th lord, lord of longevity, Ayush. Sudden ups and downs, sudden changes, people from far across the seas, or of course places that are across the seas, your secret desires, your secret objective or some hidden motive. This is seen from the 8th house. Inheritance is also seen from the 8th house. It is also the Mangalya Bhava, your happiness from marriage or your fulfillment from marriage, how consumed you are in your marriage, how committed you are in your relationship. That is also seen from this house and the Lord. And Sun making a transit in the 11th house is always 100% good because it's a natural malefic, natural Krura Graha, and at the same time it's a Sattvic Graha and it is making a transit in the 11th house, which is always good. It brings in new opportunities and fresh perspective in your life, and your 11th house is pretty much active. So thankfully, after a bit of a challenge, this sun is being aspected by Jupiter and also by Saturn, your Lagna Lord and your third Lord during this time. So your efforts are going to be counted. So make sure that you're ready to put in efforts. You might need to put efforts to mend your ties, or of course, with your friends, there could be some conflict in the past. Now you're putting efforts to resolve those conflicts. You're going to put efforts for gains, for increasing your income, or of course, improving your finances. So any efforts that you put, any decisions that you make during this time could be favorable as far as your financial prosperity is concerned. So I do see that getting improved over the next couple of months. You could take some key decisions during this time because see, your Lagna Lord is aspecting Sun, and any change that is going to be there after mid of November anyways, Shani is going direct, so things will move forward. If there is any paperwork that is stuck, that is going to move forward. If there is anything that is pending as far as your life is concerned, some important decisions, those decisions are now going to move forward towards implementation or towards a closure, and I expect them to move very fast. This sun is aspecting your 5th house by its 7th aspect of desire. So sun desires you to do some future planning, pen down your goals or things that you'd like to do in future. What is the kind of change that you would want to bring in yourself? So make sure that you take some proactive steps in order to identify those areas where you would like to change yourself, and even if you have to get out of your comfort zone. And for that, I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Aquarius Ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius Ascendants as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned, which is happening in your 10th house. Please welcome Surya Devata, Surya Bhagwan, Sri Surya in your 10th house. This is where Surya, Sun attains directional strength or is Digbali. There are blessings of the Devata during this time. There are blessings of Lord Shiva. There's blessings of Lord Ram, there's blessings of Lord Vishnu during this time, and it is an opportunity month for you as far as the annual transit is concerned. Though Sun for you is the 7th Lord, it shares an inimical relationship with your Ascendant Lord Saturn, with your Lagna Lord Saturn, but this is a yoga in transit. I do see work related opportunities to prosper. Sun for you rules your marriage, relationship, harmony. Your spouse could be benefited during this transit as far as work related pursuits are concerned. So there could be some elevation, some promotion, incentivization, or a financial growth for your partner. So this is something which is quite likely. Opportunities could be favorable for you if you run a business, or if you were to start a new business. This could be a potentially favorable time for you to take these decisions because this Sun is being aspected by your Lagna Lord Saturn and by your 11th and the 2nd Lord Jupiter. So from a financial point of view, you could have a rise in your income, you could have an increment, or you could have a secondary source of income, or even a new source of income in case you were to start a new line of work. So the next 1 month is quite important for you to make decisions pertaining to your karmas, your actions in the society. Why are you there in this world? And of course, your work, most importantly, because resources are favorable. And if it's a business, I do see some growth opportunities depending on your ongoing dasha antadasha. This Sun is aspecting your 4th house by its 7th aspect of desire. It wants you to improve your relationship with the mother and of course take care of your mother's health during this time. You could have some connection back to your homeland and of course people at your home. You might want to step out of your comfort zone during this time because see, whichever house Sun aspects, it blinds that house. So this is the kind of message which you have. Step out of your comfort zone. Try to do things differently, wear a different lens, listen to other people during this time, the general public. You could influence a lot of people, you could become an influencer. This is quite a favorable time and an opportunity window for you, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Pisces Ascendants and what's happening with Pisces as far as Sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio is concerned. For you, Sun is the 6th Lord of daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Your enemies, your competition, deaths and diseases, your health and well-being. We also see intelligence from the 6th house. This house and its Lord also represents growth. It plays a very important role in our growth. This sun is making a transit in the 9th house of fortune, of dharma, of higher learning, long journeys, long distance travel, your father figure. See, understand, sun is also one of the karakas of the 9th house besides Jupiter. So from that aspect, it's quite an auspicious transit. You need to protect your dharma during this time. This is the lord of your daily routine entering your 9th house. You must go on a spiritual retreat or a spiritual journey during this time to get uplifted as far as your spiritual pursuits are concerned. Your 3 and 9 axis is pretty active because sun will be aspecting your 3rd house by its 7th aspect of desire, which indicates change or probably starting something new, going on a journey. This doesn't necessarily mean travel, but you could start something new as well during this time, because remember, the sun is aspected by your Lagna Lord Jupiter and by your 11th Lord Saturn or Shani during this time. So gains could be favorable, and particularly if these gains are related to travel or some sort of opportunity or from foreign lands, this could be quite a favorable time for you. Particularly your Lagna Lord is aspecting sun, is forming a royal lineage or a yoga during this time. So, but you need to protect your dharma because you could deviate from the path. You could deviate from the path of righteousness. Make sure that your decision making is correct and it is based on ethics and values and not driven by emotions, or of course under the influence of other people. So you have to be careful of other people during this time because you could be influenced negatively by the virtue of other people. So this is one area where you have to be careful. Look up to your Lagna Lord Jupiter during this time. Use mantras either related to Jupiter or related to your 9th Lord Mars. Worship Lord Hanuman. Use mantras related to Lord Narasimha or Lord Kartikeya during this time. You could be benefited by that aspect, and for that I wish you the very best. So this was about sun's transit in the sign of Scorpio, the fiery sun making an annual transit in the watery, dark, watery sign of Scorpio. I hope and believe sun's transit brings positive transformation and helps us drive our decisions towards righteousness, towards the path of dharma, because this sun is going to come in contact by the aspect of Jupiter and Saturn during this time. Thank you very much. God bless you all.